Is there any way to speed up ddrescue? I had a 500 GB drive HDD crash about 5 days ago. I used ddrescue on the important petition a few days ago, and it's been on trimming failed blocks for almost 2 days now. Original command. Current output. The original command used the ddrescue n parameter, and I have restarted the process a few times as needed, and it seemed to pick up right where it left off each time. Is there any way to speed up this process? Edit. 6 hours later, this is the current status. It appears that while errors is counting down excruciatingly slowly, IPO/APO is counting down how much data it has to churn through, and it seems to be working at a rate of 750 MB/hour. At this rate, it will complete in 53 hours. Yikes. Edit number 2, 2 days later, still running. However, there is hope. It has moved past the trimming failed blocks portion, and onto the next phase, splitting failed blocks. If anything, what should be taken away from viewing this question is that this definitely takes a long time when a good amount of data/errors are involved. My only hope is that I can successfully recover some important data when all is said and done.
I observed that using the n, no split, option together with R1, retry once, and setting C, cluster size, to a smaller value can help. My impression is that the splitting step is very slow as ddrescue splits and splits again the damaged areas. This takes a lot of time because ddrescue tries to restore very small portions of data. So, I prefer to use n, no split, together with C64, C32, C16, ASO. Probably the n, no split, should always be used for one first pass in forward and reverse directions. It seems that the more the data were split, the slower the cloning, although I'm not sure about this. I assume the larger the non-treated areas, the best when running ddrescue again, because more contiguous sectors are to clone. As I'm using a log file, I don't hesitate to cancel the command with Ctrl+C when the data read speed becomes too low. I also use the R, reverse, mode, and after a first pass it often gives me higher speeds reading backwards than forward. It's not clear to me how already retried sectors, RN, are handled when running the ddrescue command again, especially when alternating forward, default, and reverse, R, cloning commands. I'm not sure if the number of times they were tried is stored in the log file, and probably the work is done again useless. Probably the I, input position, flag can help speed up things too.
It can be very hard to see the progress of ddrescue, but there is another command included called ddrescuelog. A simple command, ddrescuelog tyourlog.txt, will output these nice infos. You can even use it while ddrescue is running.
I've found that playing with the K parameter you can speed things up. From what I've seen, if ddrescue finds an error when running with the N option, tries to jump a fixed amount of sectors. If it still can't read, it jumps double the size. If you have large damaged areas, you can indicate a big K value, for example 100 meters, and so the jumping on an error will be larger the first time and it will be easier to avoid problematic areas quickly in the first pass. By the way, there is a wonderful graphical application to analyze the log. This URL.
If your aim is to obtain the bulk of the data intact, then you could speed up its extraction. But if you really want to rescue as much data as possible, then letting ddrescue nibble at each and every is the route to take.
If you want to support this channel, please consider subscribing.